Hello, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. All right, sounds like my audio is working. Gonna test turn it down a little bit. Get a little bit. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am going to maybe just a little bit. I might try my stream cam today. I don't know. I'm feeling cute today, so we might do it. Let me see if it's gonna work. Yeah, I got my hair messed up though. Hey! Hello, world! Hello, hello, hello. It's good to see everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good weekend. How are y'all doing? Doing good, doing good, doing good. Alright, so let me move the camera just a little bit. There we go. And you know what? I don't have my tool wall on. Not that you can tell, but I do have RGB lighting on my tool wall. I know, a little bit much. Just a little bit. That's okay. I am a little much. Good morning. Hello. So, we're gonna paint today. Just a little bit of a paint. There we go. Trying to get this a little organized here. All right. Now hey, good morning. Turn down my music just a little bit. We are on a alt rock 90s playlist. So, we'll recommend it. So I use a playlist for YouTube Music because I have a YouTube subscription, and I have no ad on YouTube, so I figured I'm gonna do that instead of hearing ads on Spotify. So you can see the RGB. Yeah, it looks really cool at night. I really like it. It's really extra, but it brings me a little bit of joy. When we hung up the pegboard, I was like, what if? Crazy thought. RGB lighting around that center beam. Yeah. How are you doing today? Happy weekend. I am so glad that it's Saturday. It has been such a crazy week. Literally crazy week. There's been some. Oh, yes. I'll try not to sing during this entire thing. I'm really pumped this morning. I had really good coffee. We had I had Diet Pepsi. Try not to drink Diet Pepsi. And then now I'm on my second pot of coffee, so I'm a little energetic this morning, so I apologize. I'll try and bring it down when I need to be calm for my painting job today. Oh, you're sick, but hanging in there. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, being sick. Ooh, I hate being sick during the summer. Though it might be autumn soon, because it is September. Spooky season is coming. Oh, yes, I'm so glad for a 3-day weekend. I was actually thinking that I might do like a video game stream sometime Maybe on Monday. I might do a video game stream. I don't know. I've been playing like city builders. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I get into. I have to go to the leather supply store because I want to buy some thin leather for some projects that I want to work on. I make um, leather watch bands. So I want to buy some leather that's specific for watch bands. So I'm going today after the stream to pick some up, and so I might be making some watch bands, which is always fun. Yeah. So I did do some off-stream work on the build, and I pre-painted it. And I've got it pre-painted, ready and primed for our actual colors. But outside of the stream that I did, I put in some window braces and some frames. I put in the weird chimney. Obviously, I did the doors. I decided to do the doors out of foam instead of doing like 3D prints. I decided just to do that because, you know, that's that. And then when I primed it, I also did some texturing of this. This is actually still pretty wet, so I don't know if I'm going to do the landscape on stream. I'm going to try and dry it out with a hair dryer, like a heat gun, see if that works. Let's see. I'm going to show off the accessories today, so I'm really excited about. So I made a little sunflower, and I need to paint. So the sunflower is going to go in front of the house. Yeah. It's quite big. I think on stream I cut a wine cork and divot here. This is going to be like a axe, like a stump that she's going to use to cut wood. We made a little tiny axe, and we've got a balsa wood handle that I whittled. So cool. I loved it. Every minute of whittling it. And a little just piece of cardboard to make the axe head. So I'm gonna try and like do that. This one is one of my favorites. I was really impressed. I impressed with myself. So this is the really weird windmill thing that she has, like in the back to the right, her house. So this is just a piece of plastic spar, with in a balsa wood, and then I have like this little pin that I got from like a pseudo Lego set that uses pins to lock down the Legos together. I think they're called Jekka blocks or something like that. I think it's from Singapore or Thailand or somewhere else. I bought a whole bunch of them during the pandemic and built it, but they gave you a lot of extra pegs. So I used one of those pegs so we could turn it. I want to make sure that this stays turnable. Love it. It's my favorite. So on the side of the house, we were gonna put like, instead of a metal star, and put a little star drop. I love my star drop. It turned out so good. I made this out of air dry clay. Really excited with this. It's a little big, but I think it's perfect. Those metal stars are pretty big on houses, so I was like, it's okay. It's the only thing that's going to be on the side of the house. So I'm going to try and make this painted metal. And then since we're going to have like another resin pour, like what I did with Pam's trailer. So I'm going to do a resin pour. I think I'm going to do that off stream just because it's not that much. And then, so I've kind of put little rocks in there. But for Pam's house, I put a little piece of newspaper. But for Leah's house, I made a little tiny broken pair of glasses. Yay! So this is going to be floating around in the water. I made this with like holiday wire, so it's really easily bendable. So cute. It turned out really good. Pierre's glasses is gonna be fun. So let me put those to the side. So those are all the like accessories. I had planned out putting a lot of like furnaces and like crafting areas in the back. The build's not big enough to do it. I like the ideas, but I was just like, there's so much going on there that it's gonna be too cluttered. Um, Even then, at this point, like I don't know if I'm gonna be able to put like the bushes. So I want the bushes back there because that's obviously in the picture. So I'm gonna try and put some bushes here, and then I'm gonna try and shove a tree in here somewhere. So you're pretty quiet, but you're resting. Yes, please rest up. I'm just gonna be chatting away. So enjoy. You gotta go somewhere that's okay too. It's always a good crafting day, but I do appreciate you showing up. It's really nice to have someone that I can say, oh yeah, I know. How are you doing? It's really cool. So I do appreciate you coming in, but definitely rest up. Oh, so we got I turned into a coffee snob a little bit. I'm just gonna chat here. So while I'm chatting, I'm gonna be using a heat gun to try and dry this off a little bit. So hopefully that's not too noisy. But I'm a little bit of a coffee snob, to be honest. I've accepted this about me, and I've turned Josh into a coffee snob too. So I do. We grind our own beans to make coffee, and we actually have a every other week delivery of coffee beans from roaster. That's like a local roaster around us. They ship it, which is really nice. So we do our own grind every morning to make French press, and I've been a French press person for a while. I really like it, but I've been kind of wanting to do something different. I've been thinking about, but not really going for, like buying it and this, that, and the other for pour over. I've been really interested in pour over for a while, and Josh surprised me earlier this week. He had bought everything that we needed for a pour over. Like he bought a pour over kettle. He bought a pour over, like the top part, the carafe, which the carafe is kind of cool looking. The filters. He bought a new scale, like all of that. So we're experimenting with pour over right now. We actually ran out of coffee grounds, so we're back to store-bought grounds, the pre-ground, which I mean it's not bad, but it's just not the same. So I've been drinking pour over. It's really good. It's different than French press. A lot less silty, which is good. Alright. Yeah, it's still pretty wet. This is actually doing pretty good. But I tried putting I should have done this last night, but I got invested in my video games, so I didn't. Uh, so I did this. I woke up at 7 o'clock. I think I did this probably around 8 o'clock. So enough for the surface stuff that's not cardboard related to dry. So yeah, I need to be careful because I'm starting to melt it. You can kind of see. Okay. So I'm gonna leave that alone for a little bit. And I'm gonna do a little bit because the cardboard is still a little damp here. So I'll do a little bit of, I don't need to do this as much on the house here. So I need to be a little bit farther away, make sure I don't melt anything on this house. That would be a travesty. The landscape, I don't care if I melt it. A little bit. But the house, I do care. I've been diligently trying to get all these textures right. I don't want to run it by trying to keep this dry. I'll try and lip sync instead of singing in your ear. Can't sing very well, so I apologize in advance, but it is what it is. Sometimes it gets just too catchy. Alright. I'm good with that. Hmm. Hmm. Very delicious. So, this is the coffee carafe. Kind of cool. Alright. Alright, so let's think about painting this bad boy. So, I think doing the roof first would probably be the easiest. Oh, let me just pull out some colors here and see what I want to do first. Alright, so definitely going to need brown, deep yellow, lemon yellow. We're going to need this turquoise green, emerald green, white green, yellow ochre. A lot of these are getting really low. I did get a gift card to Michael's a couple weeks ago. So that's another one of my stops today, is getting new paint, because I'm kind of running out of the colors that I use all the time. It's yellow mid. Just gonna pull out all the stuff. Found you. Alright. So, I've got some colors here. The one that I really wish I had more of was this deep yellow, which is okay. I don't have to have it, but it would be easier if I did. Bit of orange. Alright, and one of the benefits of having the silicone mat down is I can just use the mat to paint as my paint palette, but I want to make sure that I don't have it where my hand goes. So I'm going to have a paint palette over here. I'm going to put this to the side for now. I do need to clear this a little bit. It's got a little bit of grit on it. Whenever I was pouring the sand, the landscape. So let me get my wet wipe. vibe. So much grit. It's gritty. All right. Actually feeling pretty good today. I think it might be a little bit of I might have a little bit of pseudo energy just because I'm so happy that I have more than 2 days off. It's just like it's been hard lately. It's been super hard. Um One of the people that also does my job at my work, so there's two of us that do what we do. She's been on maternity leave, so I've been doing everything. It's just getting to me. There's a reason why they added a position to hire me. Um, so it's just she comes back the 21st of September, so I've got 2 or 3 weeks left. I can see the end of the light. She gets 3 months off, 90 days after the birth of her child, which I'm super happy that she had a kid. Um, she was really wanting a third kid, so she's really happy, and that's good for her. Man, it's hard. Hmm. Okay, that's dry now. So let's. I want to do the wood first. Let's do the wood. Get that out of the way. Then we can paint the green. Because otherwise, I might get brown on the green. That's harder to cover. I think. I don't know. We're gonna do wood. And I do actually have in the picture we have some stonework down at the bottom underneath the circle picture. So we do have stonework here. I made it look like this was an addition to the cabin. So the entire bottom half is just wood or stone brick. Top is wood. So it's good to remember that in my brain. So paint. Getting distracted. Add some white. I need a lot more brown. Yellow. This is, I want to say it's like canary yellow. Not really. Get a little bit of red too. And I think we're good for green now. Maybe a little bit of orange. You can never go wrong. It's a little bit of a splurt of orange. Alright, so let's mix this up. And I'm gonna be trying to make the main wood color. And then we'll make it darker for the details of the doors and around the windows. So we're going to try and make it lighter, then we can darken it up. We'll just see what we get. And I'll change my mind halfway through like I always do. Because I'm going off the seat of my pants. All right, let's see here. So got that a little bit. I think that's nice. It's a nice orangey brown. Yeah. All right. I think I'm liking that. That's a nice color. We can be messy with this. I remember when I first started painting, being just amazed that people could do color match stuff like this and be like, "Oh, geez, how the hell do you do that?" Like, I get like adding whites and blacks to things, but like mixing different colors together, like adding purple to this would be like so weird. So, like, there was never in a million years that I thought I would be able to color match as well as I do today, and I still have a lot to learn, to be honest. Um, but it's kind of like magic. It's like now that you know the secret, it's easier to do. Taking a color theory class really helped too. Uh, we're gonna try. We'll paint the very underside of this in like a darker color. So whenever we do the frames and stuff, that. But I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Just want to get the base color. We'll do low lights, then highlights, and then base color again. So, to try and avoid this woodwork though. Not woodwork, stonework. I can. It's a little bit watery, not too much. It's not really wanting to go down into those cracks as much as I want. There we go. Let's see here. I'm always thinking about the next project even while I'm doing this. So I keep thinking, what am I going to do next? I'm thinking Elliot's cabin. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I always have these discussions with myself and just like, oh yeah, I want to do this, and then I completely go off the rails and go like, I'm gonna do a trailer. I guess we'll find out what next one I do um, when the day arrives. Because sometimes I just make it up on what I want to do that day, and we go with it. Let me change one of the properties, my camera, real quick. Put it on autofocus. Okay, it's on autofocus. It might zoom in and out a little bit, but you'll be able to see the details a lot better. Hopefully it doesn't get distracting. I know sometimes whenever I look at it, I get really distracted on zoom in and out, like autofocus stuff. I think I'm just hypersensitive about it though. I think as long as my paint pen isn't like right here. Paint pen? Paint pen? My brush. My brush isn't like stabbing at the camera all the time. It should be good. Probably. Maybe. Who knows? Alright, I didn't mix enough. Did not mix enough. A hint of red, not too much. Just a little bit more. Go. Alright. Sloppy paint job. Done. Getting done. I shouldn't say it's done whenever it's obviously not done. Alright. Let's see here. My D&D game is going well. Are playing, well, it's not D&D, it's Pathfinder. Same diff. My druid is level 4. I've never played a druid before, so this is very interesting. Their name is Laru. and they're a young halfling child, eighth or ninth child of a family of 15. So like lots of family members, so they're kind of like overlooked all the time. So Laru kind of is like trying to find like a place in the world to be, and not really good at anything. But the only thing that they found was good, or really kind of made sense or worked well, was befriending a messenger pigeon in a job that they took as a delivery person. So like medieval Grubhub or UPS. Um, so befriended a pigeon that worked there that nobody else really had luck with. And when Laru left the job, the pigeon came with him. So kind of like fell into like, well, seems like I have a talent for birds, maybe, or maybe just this pigeon. So it's been kind of interesting. I've been actually doing a little bit more role play in the mechanics of things. So even though I know that my character has access to certain spells and stuff like that, I've actually not casted it because it doesn't make sense for Laru to do. So definitely not the best druid that you could play, but I would argue a better roleplay druid, maybe. So that's been fun. The pigeon's name is Stew. So he's a stew pigeon, which makes me giggle every time I say it. Uh, so it's been really good. It's been fun. We're playing Rise of the Rune Lords. It's a pretty popular Pathfinder like series path. I don't know what they call them. It's like the pre-made story booklets. For the life of me, I can't remember what those are called. But it's going really well. Josh is playing a cleric. I think this is his first cleric, I think. So he's been kind of learning not to be the front lines, and he's having a good time. His character is like a rube farmer off the countryside, and he's kind of like the uh, only person of his faith in his family, and so he decided to go out and make his way and figure out things on his own. I'm playing with my brothers, both of them. So one of them is the DM. It's been a DM for a long time. It's like our resident DM. And then my other brother is playing a gunslinger centaur. Yes, you heard me right. A gunslinger centaur. um, who has it out for horses. He thinks horses are evil. That they're an abomination. He's like a cowboy. It's really funny. So, I can't help to laugh because his name is Rufus, and I just think Rufus is an amazing name for a centaur, cowboy, gunslinger. Um, yeah. So he's like vehemently against horses. Like, so every time that we have to go somewhere like far away, we have to rent oxen because we can't rent horses because horses are our abomination, and Rufus will kill them all. We have to keep him away from horse stables because he will try to poison all the horses. So it's it's been funny. It's been interesting. But to be fair, he played a pretty straightforward character last campaign, and I had the batshit crazy character in our campaign. So I think it's only fair that the person who does the batshit crazy characters changes a little bit. So this is his time. It was just so happened that one of the games that my brother couldn't make it to the game, we freed a warhorse, and got experience for it. So when my brother came back the next session, we are like, "Oh yeah, 300 of those experience points were for saving a horse." He's like, "Oh no, 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 no." Hello, welcome to the stream. We are painting Leah's cabin from Stardew Valley. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So I was chatting a little bit for the D&D game that I'm playing with my mostly family, but also friends. I think we've got probably 7 or 8 players. That includes the DM, though. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. It's going pretty well so far. The painting stream is always the best stream to join in, so you come at a good time. The whole building of the items is also fun, but it's not as eye-popping. Like you're like, oh, it's finally taking shape. It's a lot of seafoam colored blocks that I'm hot gluing together that kind of resemble something, and then when we paint, then it starts to come together really well. So, let's see. So these crossbars look like they're silver, so I'll do the silver later. That's going to be a pain to try and paint outside of that. So I do arts and crafts streams. I've done several Stardew Valley builds before. Do exclamation point past to see a link to go to where I put all my blog stuff for past builds. I don't have all of them up there yet, but let's see. I've done the first one was the Star Drop Saloon. That one started it all. I'm still very proud of that. My very first scratch build, building from nothing. So this is all cardboard foam. I think I used a little bit of styrofoam in that build. And let's see here. So I did the Star Drop Saloon. I've done Hat Mouse House. Hat Mouse House is one of my favorites too. So we're adding in lore that doesn't exist in the game. That one was one of my favorites. They're all my favorites. Surprise, surprise. We did the community center next. It's in its dilapidated format. And I just finished up Pam's trailer about a month ago. So it takes about 3 or 4 streams to do one building. So I think that's pretty good. It's going very well. And then eventually I'll get around to actual streaming games. But right now I think I'm just feeling feeling arts and crafty lately, so doing that. So yeah. Anyways, uh, so yeah, Rufus, my brother's character in D&D was he's really fun to play with and like mess with because he has it in for horses. He does not like horses, and as a centaur, nobody makes centaur shoes. They make horse shoes. So he has to like bribe blacksmiths to make sure that they're putting the right type of metal shoe on them. And let's see what else has fun has happened. Oh, so my husband character, his character is inhabited by a benevolent god. Uh, and so he talks to him, and nobody else knows what's going on. Pretty much. It's a little bit darker. So right now, I don't have anything behind these so I'm going to put window panes afterwards, but I didn't want to have to make sure I don't paint them. So we'll be putting acrylic window panes on this. So don't have to, so you don't see the inside of this because we're not going to decorate the inside. The only one that I really decorated the inside for was a little bit of the startup saloon where you can look in and see, hey, I'm sitting at a counter with Gus serving her alcohol. This is going to be the last doer. Alright, so that's pretty much all the wood. I'm going to do a little bit of the stonework here, so I need to make this. There's very faint. May make this picture a little bit bigger temporarily. So we're kind of looking at like a cool hued brick. So I am going to okay. So cool hue. I need some purple. Get a purple out here. All right. Okay, just a tiny bit of purple. Maybe a little bit more than that. Actually, quite a bit of purple. A little bit of brown too. There we go. All right. Just Face paint is almost done. Mm. Man, this song takes me back. Sometimes, whenever songs come on, I have like a really bad memory for story, but I have a really good memory for visual. Um, so a lot of times that comes into play, like whenever back in school where I used to study, and I would read the textbooks during the exam. I wouldn't remember what I read, but I would remember what page it was on and what was around the page. So it's like, oh, I know that information. That information was underneath the guy on the bicycle on this paragraph, like in this part of the paragraph, but I couldn't remember what it said. But I remember what the book looked like. Didn't help. But songs kind of have that same memory of I don't remember what was happening, but I remember what I was looking at when I heard it, whenever it was really poignant. Um, so there's one song, and I can't even remember what song it is until it plays, that I remember very vividly driving to my brother's house while I was in college. I was visiting him. I was going down a back road, and on the right hand side of the back road, there was a guy who had set up a stall to sell watermelons and zucchini and cucumbers and corn. Like it was a farm side stand. It happened all the time, but I remember that song came on, that part of the course was going, and I was passing that farmer. Like what what the hell? Why can I remember that, but I can't remember anything else? Um, it's a problem sometimes. A little bit of a problem whenever you're trying to do stuff. I don't know. I just have a visual brain. Maybe if I painted or did some artwork or took photos of what I was studying and I could learn it better. That's why I really liked art history, um, because I could remember that stuff better, for the most part. I had trouble with the dates of the year that it was painted or this, that, and the other, but I could remember what the titles were. Because most of the time, unless it's cubism, most of the time the titles kind of go along with what's painted. More modern stuff, it's not, but a lot of the classics, you're like, that's Michelangelo. That's Raphael. That's what that person looks like. All right, so I'm gonna let this dry a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna dip my finger in. All right, so let's mix up the green. Needs to be bright and emerald. I think I've got emerald here. This might be a little bit. I hate that this is called emerald, because this is not emerald. That doesn't look like emerald. Is that emerald? Maybe that's emerald. This is like a light emerald. I think emerald is like a dark and inviting and mysterious green. This is like radioactive baby poop. I don't know. We'll put it out here just in case, so we can use that as a highlight. Um, Maybe I need grass green. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Be a combination of the two. We got that. Let me get some phthalo green. Phthalo has a little potent. Good. Let's see where we're at with that. And I have a actual crafting apron now. This is my birthday gift from Josh. He bought me a crafting apron that has like split legs, so part of the apron goes on both legs. It's supposed to be for like pottery, which hopefully I'll get back into eventually. I really miss doing pots. But I'm not there yet. It's doing pots. Yeah. Oh, that's a lovely green. Look at that. Oh, oh, I like that. That's a nice green. That's a nice green. Yeah, that's a nice green. I need to mix up a lot more. It's a nice green. We'll do the dark lights so that you can tell the difference between the shingles. But this is just for the base. Oh yeah, that's so good. Sometimes I just impress the hell out of myself and I just have to go, yeah! Whenever I can't contain my excitement, I always wiggle. And I didn't know I did that until Josh pointed it out. It's just like, it mo I'll be honest, it mostly happens whenever I eat really good food. I go like this. I'm like, it's so good. Like I can't contain the joy just in my mouth or in my brain or my stomach. You're just like it just feels so good. I gotta wiggle. Um, it happens a lot whenever I eat like a really good brisket. So good. Or like a really good steak. It's mostly meat, I'll be honest. Um, Sometimes whenever the food is just perfect, he'll do that, but also whenever I get excited, I just do this in general, so I'm just like, where? Just- Also clap my hands apparently. I've caught myself doing it a couple times that I'll clap my hands, like whenever I'm thinking about something that I'm really excited about, I'll just I'll clap. Um, it scares Josh because sometimes whenever I'm driving, I'm thinking about something that I'm excited that I'm driving towards. And I'll clap my hands while driving, taking my hands off the wheel. Clap. He doesn't like it. It's always just like, just real quick. It's that expression of excitement that I have. Just like a, just like a puppy over here. Whoops. My finger totally just snapped that. Okay, I'm gonna start holding it from the inside. So let's see here. What else can I talk about? Uh, I did start watching House of the Dragon. I know, I know, I know. You don't have to tell me they ruined the last season. Why are you giving them more time and effort investing in something that they completely and utterly ruined at the end? Trust me. I know, but it's good. It's good. I can I cognitive dissonance. I'm giving it a try. And, I'm going to enjoy it for what it is. And if they do it again, then so be it. But I know right now, at least I'm enjoying it, and I'm not going to let that cloud my judgment. Did I convince you yet? uh, yeah. So just finished watching the second episode yesterday. Yes, Thursday. Um, nope, 2 days ago, Thursday. Today's Saturday. I'm a veritable calendar system. Yep, yep, that's me. So yeah, so I'm interested. I actually was not sure about Matt Smith's character playing. I was just like, I can't. I am gonna have a hard time seeing him as someone that's not the Doctor. Well, it worked. I mean, it's kind of like a character that I think is gonna be a love to hate. So you're like, yeah, yeah, be the asshole, but he's not entirely an asshole yet. He's not like Ramsey from the original series. Ramsey was just like, no, I do not like him no matter what. He's just a bad guy. Like Joffrey. There's not like a lot of bad characters you like to root for. But I think Matt Smith's character so far, as far as the second season goes, might be okay with it. Alright, so that is our green roof. Our green roof is going. I am messy. Take a little bit of a coffee. Sorry. Music stopped. And it's where it's at right now. I'm in a good mood today. Damn, this is what a good mood feels like. Okay. Good mood. Alright, so I do need to paint this. Let's just go ahead and do that with the paint that I've got. Two tabs. Alright, what else? What else? Let's go ahead and paint. I'll wipe off a little bit. Stain. Stained. This. Don't know how well it's gonna take paint. This one's gonna take a little bit more. Tabs. That one will need like 3 or 4 coats. Okay, I need to make the picture big again. On a second. Looks like. Alright, a flower box. Alright, that needs to dry a little bit before I start doing the colors. The shading. Shading. Let's see here. What do can I Still wet. Just gonna enjoy my coffee at the moment. Enjoy the songs. I mean, I think it's half of the music is the reason why I'm energetic right now. I want to do an actual silver on this. This axe here. Stocks. Stop. What silver? Don't have my mini silver here. That means it's in my roll over to my tub. There it is. I love rolly chairs. All right. Okay. Silver axe. Let's see. Want a little dot? Like screw head. A thin point. A pinpoint. Have a pinpoint. I have a pencil point. That'll work. Bit of silver dot here to indicate. Cicada screw. Side. No, I'm the only one that's ever gonna see that. The little tiny screw. I feel like a beauty guru right now. Like, ooh, look at this paint. Yes, it's a makeup paint. There we go. Oh yes, silver. I really do like the silver. It's a nice silver. Set that off over there. Screw the silver lid back on so that I don't. So. Okay. I don't want to do the star drop yet. Okay. I think it's still not completely dry, but it might be dry enough that we can start doing the low lights, highlights, midlights again. So let's do lights. Ooh, yes, low lights. And those low lights look real good on the camera. Hmm. The cottage core, cottage core. Something that I shouldn't be saying because it kind of might sound a little bit iffy. I think it's fun. I think the one thing that I didn't make is that little, it's like the Halloween decorations, which I am trying to make this Halloween themed, right? Remember? Remember, Kate? Remember? Yes, I remember. Uh, I didn't make any Halloween themes in Ham's cottage. Forgot. It's okay. It's okay. Doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be. It's fine. Be okay. So I haven't made any of the decorations like the hay, the skeleton, the pumpkin. Low lights. There we go. We're getting there. Alright, so now let's do under the eaves while we're at it. You know, if I ever, if I had, if I used a personalized cell phone ring, this would be the perfect one. Gotta screen my phone calls, no matter who calls. That was no doubt spiderweb. Spiderwebs. S. Um, I heard that one before. So that was the song that's playing if you're watching the VOD, because there's no music on the VOD. It's the only reason, only way I can play during the normal stream. I'm playing around with uploading all of my VODs for perpetuity. For whoever wants to watch them, I don't know why, but whoever wants to watch them, they're on YouTube right now. Up until second episode, the second stream for Pam's, third stream for Pam's trailer. I haven't done the final Pam's trailer or any of these builds yet on the VOD YouTube channel. But I've been playing around with the idea of putting non-copyright music on those, just because it's really boring just listening to me talk. I'll be honest, I understand. And I've been kind of learning how to do video editing a little bit, so I mean, it's another hobby, right? It's another hobby. But it's going pretty well so far. I'm just so happy with how this is looking so far. I'm living! I'm living! Alright. So, I forgot that I had this burnt sienna, which is the perfect color for this build, for the wood. So we're gonna do the highlights with the burnt sienna. So I need to water this down a bit, actually. So let me actually pick that up. Changing my mind where I want to put it. And we're gonna put a little bit of water here. Kind of water this down so I can do a dry brush. A dry brush. Can you do a dry brush with a wet paint? I think so. We're gonna try this. Get it emulsified here. Alright, now I need a dry brush. I love my dry brushes. I bought a whole bunch of makeup brushes to do the dry brush. Don't get. I'm wondering if I shouldn't have watered it down. Think watering it down defeats it. I don't know. It seems a little bit too wet now. You fucked up, Kate. That's okay. gonna lightly tap. Lightly does it. Tell me, tell me why. And sleeping with our clothes on. All right. I think the wood's looking good. Look at it. Look at that. I'm happy with it. All right. So now I need to do the highlighting of the bricks and then frames. I think I need to make the frame a little bit redder. It looks like the red tint is on the frames and door. And then I also need to reattach this frame. It kind of unglued. So I want to make sure that happens. But as far as the main wood goes, I think it's looking pretty good. Right. So dry brush. Little bit of a fail of the dry brush. That's okay. Hmm. So I've been live an hour and 40. I think I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be back. I do need to let this dry a little bit. I am gonna take a quick break, figure out what we're doing for lunch. Most likely we're gonna DoorDash something. So I'm going to be back real quick. Let's say I'll be back. It's 12:30. Be back at 12:40. So I'm gonna take a 10-minute break. I'm gonna go to the previous screen, put in the timestamp. So I will be back shortly. Okay, we'll be back. I promise. Okay, we back. We back with pizza rolls. Pizza roll. Pizza roll. All right, I'll turn that down just a little bit. So, no consensus on what we want to do. What we want to do for lunch. So I'm like, I need a snack. I'm gonna do pizza rolls for lunch. Not healthy, but it's gonna do. Thank you. All right, so this has dried off a little bit. I think dried enough to start doing our brick here. All right, so we need to do same type of process, low lights, and then kind of like a highlight. And get a little bit more black paint. I think I want a little bit more purple actually. Let me find my purple. I think I put it back in the bag. That's a little bit too much purple, I think. I'll add in some black again, tone it back down. All right. So this I'm going to be tapping the dark colors on. Just tapping it on. And we're doing around the corners where the grout is. And we'll tap on some lighter colors. All right, so we talked about House of the Dragon briefly. I'm not going to get my hopes up, but I'm still going to watch it. Going into it, I know it's not a guarantee. I also have been watching. I've been starting to watch the She-Hulk series on Disney. It's actually pretty good. I like it. There's a little bit too much fourth wall breaking, but I've kind of gotten used to it at this point um with Deadpool, but it's not bad. It's okay. It's better than I thought it would be so far. Um, you're pretty torn on watching House of the Dragon. Yeah, I think. Hmm. Oh, Josh says hello. Um, so I'm going to go into it knowing that it could turn bad, but I'm going to enjoy it for now. But it's probably going to turn bad, just like Game of Thrones did. She says hello back. Josh is making coffee for himself because I drank all the coffee. Um, we haven't watched Sandman yet, but I think we're gonna try and watch it because we've been trying to watch shows together, but it's so hard now that Josh works full time, I work full time, and coming home and then, you know, watching a show together when we're probably gonna binge it is kind of hard sometimes. So it's been kind of crazy busy for him. So we kind of just like, I just want to chill and veg out with YouTube videos. So the plan is Sandman this weekend. Um, so that's one of the benefits of watching as it comes out, that it's rolled out one at a time, that I've really kind of enjoyed with at least the 2 episodes of House of the Dragon so far, is that I have a dedicated time that I set aside for it, and I know that I'm not gonna be up until 2 a.m. watching it, which is what I would do if they released it all at the same time. So it's kind of nice going back to that familiar way of, how shows used to come out on a weekly schedule. So it's kind of been it's been different. Eli's an anime fan, has been getting me to watch shows. It's been odd since I've never seen much anime. Okay, yeah. So, uh, both Josh and I kind of watched not watched, we read the comics, and so those have been good. It's been a long time since I read the comics, but Josh has a memory for narrative, really, like I'll tell you what. So I've been rewatching Stargate SG-1 because that was my comfort show growing up. I watched that a lot with my dad, so a lot of times when I miss my dad, I'll watch Stargate. And so it also is like a good background music noise whenever I craft off stream. So I was watching a random episode of Stargate, and Josh comes in. Not only did he know what episode from a 5-second look at it, he knew what was going to happen and how it was going to be resolved. And I was just like, when was the last time you watched this? Did you watch it recently? He's like, oh no, I watched it like I've only watched it once, and it was like 15, 20 years ago when it came out. And I was just like, this is not even like one of those important episodes. This is just like a throwaway episode. Like, I his brain just works differently than mine. Uh, and me, I watched something like last week and I don't remember it at all. So, but I do know where he's put every single thing that he's ever touched. Like his pants. Can't remember where he put his pants. Like, that's because you put it on top of the bookshelf. Yeah. So, there's a give and take. And you sound, and know you're mine. Okay, we're gonna try and dry brush. You're kind of like me, you can watch things over and over again and see new things each time. Yeah, I love rereading books. I had like my favorite book series with Terry Pratchett's book series, Discworld. I have read all of them at least 5, 6 times. Like, as soon as I finish one, I'll start another one. And I was like, I really want to go back to that one I just finished, and I'll just reread it because I love it's just like it's comfort. Trying to remember what's my most read book. I mean, I've read Lord of the Rings about 7, 8 times. It's been quite a few years since I've read Lord of the Rings, though. So I need to water that down quite a bit. Oh, the new Lord of the Rings I'm really kind of excited for. I know it came out yesterday actually. I have not on Prime. I really want to watch that. That's my next one. I think actually I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna do some paper towel sponging. I'm so excited for it. I don't know what I was actually gonna watch it yesterday and I just didn't get around to it. So I was just like, oh, you're planning a tattoo? Tattoo. Oh, what is your tattoo gonna be? Oh man, that's so good. When the movies came out, like I was a preteen when they came out. The movies themselves, and I was so obsessed. Like, I mean, I read The Hobbit and I read the first book, um, first couple of books, the first two books. I couldn't get through the second book, but I started reading them in fourth grade. I was like a really avid reader. Like I loved reading, and it was my escape from the world. So I had like a 12th grade reading proficiency in fourth grade. Um, so I was reading Lord of the Rings. I think there was a lot of concepts that obviously I missed, but when the movies came out, oh my god, my life revolved around Lord of the Rings. It was just like something that I just had to talk about, to just live. You want Bilbo's hobbit door with a tree on top. Oh, that would be so cool. Oh, I love that. I think if I would get it, like, I've always wanted tattoos, but I've never loved anything enough to really get a tattoo or say, yes, I'm going to get a tattoo. Because I change my mind all the time. If I would get a tattoo, it'd totally be Lord of the Rings. Oh, it might actually just be Lord of the Rings. Oh my god, that's so cool. I want to build a hobbit house. So, like, maybe in between one of these Stardew builds, I do a hobbit house. It needs to happen. It needs to happen. We doing it. It's on the list. I'm adding it to the list. Maybe even the next stream. You have two and you love one, and one is a dumb year old. Oh, dumb old me mistake. Oh, I'm just thinking of all the possibilities. Oh, you have three now? I mean, I have nothing against tattoos. I'm just like, I'm so indecisive. Like, the only reason, like, when I go grocery shopping, I like to go to Aldi's. One, because I just like it. But two, because I can't decide. Not saying that tattoo thought and like what am I gonna eat this day is the same. It's totally different. Those thought processes are different. But I'm so indecisive. Like, do I want this? Do I want that? How do I want it to look? And then who to get it? Like, I'd have to trust the person. And then I know as soon as I get one, I want to immediately get another. And then I'll lose that um, urge or desire to have it perfect. Because there's never going to be that perfect tattoo. I realize that it's just, it's like kind of like coloring my hair. I have to get through my brain like, it's okay. It's who you are. Go for it. And if you don't like it, you can cover it up. It's fine. You have wings on your back. That's a 16-year-old me mistake. Have the deathly hollows on your wrists. Nice. You have a baby goat. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, I love that. A baby goat. Oh, I love it. I'm always amazed at like people who have tattoos, and I'm just like, oh, I'd love to have one. I just, I just gotta make up my mind and do it. Just bite the bullet and save up because I want a nice one. I want a big one. I want color. I don't want a tiny tattoo. If I'm gonna do a tattoo, I'm going all out. Okay, I'm liking how this is going. This is looking nice. It's kind of spongy. I think I might actually add in some low lights again. It might be a little bit too bright. Oh, mm. The baby goat was a fun weekend girls trip with a few hours of time to kill before a concert. Oh yeah, I mean that's good. I love it. It always like it gives you good memories too. Whenever you see it, you're like, oh yeah, that reminds me of good things. Like I've always thought that my first tattoo that I do will be a in memoriam tattoo. I've been kind of been thinking about for the last 5 or 6 years, I think. No, 5 years. It's been 5 years, maybe 4 or 5 years. We'll say that instead. Of getting like a yellow car, like maybe a Volkswagen Bug or something, somewhere on my wrist or something. Um, so oh my god, Toad the Wet Sprocket. Whew. I had this cassette. Sorry, off the side topic. I had this cassette tape. I loved Toad the Wet Sprocket. Like so yeah, yellow like Volkswagen Bug. So that so when my dad was going through chemo and like all that sort of stuff, he would have to drive up to Columbus, where I live, because um that's the closest like nice hospital. So he would drive up, and my mom would always accompany him, um, just to keep him company, and she was worried about him, obviously. And to pass the time, it's a 2-hour trip for them. So 2 hours up there, 2 hours back for one day, and they would make the trip like probably every other week. So it was a lot of driving. And to pass the time, they would do the like Volkswagen slug bug thing, but they wouldn't hit each other. But it morphed into yellow vehicles. So they would do competitions of who can see the yellow vehicle first. And they would like there's a lot of yellow vehicles. And it had to be a certain vehicle. It couldn't be gold. Gold isn't yellow, according to my parents. So they would just call out the yellow vehicles, and they'd call me up and tell me how many yellow vehicles they had. So like the last 4 years, my dad had cancer for 4 years, so they did that like every other week for 4 years. They would call me up and tell me how many yellow vehicles. I think the max they saw was like 56 vehicles or something crazy. So I was just like, I need a yellow vehicle, and I might as well get a yellow Volkswagen Bug because I like Volkswagen Bugs. I like the aesthetic. So I've been thinking about getting that, but I just don't know the art style that I want to get it in. So that's my only holdup. But I think that's going to be my first tattoo, and I want it like somewhere on my wrist or somewhere that I can see it. My mom would freak out. Um, she is very anti-tattoos, very, very conservative mother, but she actually has gone mostly visually mostly blind now. She can still see, but she can't really see anything. So she's uh, uh yeah. So I don't think she'd be able to see the tattoo, and I won't tell her. Oh, I feel bad. Okay, we're gonna have a little pizza roll. Sorry for eating in your ear. Okay, so got the stones. They're looking good. I hold it right here, the lighting on the camera goes. So our next step is work on the trim. I think the trim needs to be a little bit more red. Looking at the picture, those are redder color. That will mix red brown. Red brown. So, what else tattoo wise? If I could ever make up my mind what I want it to look like. What other tattoos? I like the idea of a Lord of the Rings tattoo. That's probably the very first fandom that I really got into, and I'm still into. So I like that thought of doing like maybe a Lord of the Rings tattoo, just because if I've loved it for more than half my years alive, then I'm probably gonna keep liking it. Very unlike um, Pirates of the Caribbean. I was obsessed with Pirates of the Caribbean. I can leave it or take it or leave it now. But I was so obsessed. I had, um, when I was a preteen and teenager, I used to play Neopets quite a bit, and I had a Neopets guild for Pirates of the Caribbean. It's so cheesy. Oh, I can't believe I just admitted that. So yeah, I think I'm okay with no Pirates of the Caribbean stuff. You love Neopets? Yes, I actually learned how to HTML code and CSS code for design because of Neopets. Like I had my own website hosted, I think it was like GeoCities hosted. Um, because I really liked Neopets and I wanted to like make my shop look really good, and I wanted the guild that I ran really good, like pretty, and like I was so impressed. Like I was so like the ingenuity that I had growing up, like just like resourceful. Like I just think back and just like, how the heck did I ever do that? Oh, you say something, young brain? That was that fresh brain juice. I used up all my brain juice, and now I have no brain juice left. My brain juice go, my brain juice gone. Cell phones took all my brain juice. But yeah, I love Neopets. All my friends really got into Neopets when we were in like fifth, fourth and fifth grade. I still played Neopets when I got into ninth grade. I was the only one that still used it. And I think the only reason I stopped using Neopets is that I really got into playing EverQuest. So, MMORPG took all my time from Neopets. Video games. I think Neopets is still around, and there's like a lot of drama that goes around with it. So I think they tried to do like NFTs, which is crazy to me. But like there's a black market for like classic pets. I think I read one time like I read like hobby drama on Reddit, so you can like stay in touch with some really crazy niche drama in certain communities. Let's see, what else was I really into? Now you think about tattoos, there's a few. I want the lily flower on your shoulder and a tornado on the calf with it's already here. Tornado on my calf with the words "It's already here." Is that a reference? That's got to be a reference for something. A tornado with the words "It's already here" on it. Is that Twister? Is that Twister? There's a lot of movies that Bill Patton's character says it. It's from the movie Twister. Yep. It's towards the end of the movie. I've actually never watched Twister. Yeah, it's on the I think it was on the list that you made me. I'm surprised I haven't picked that up from pop culture yet. So, growing up, I was not allowed to watch a lot of things that my peers did because my mom was a little protective. Bill Paxton. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, get it right, Josh. Hey, my noise gate works really well. That didn't pick you up. I set my noise gate on my microphone because Josh is like, you know, 200, 300 foot away playing his YouTubes really loudly because he can't hear. Uh, and so I set a noise gate up, so it's actually working. It's your all-time favorite movie, and I live in Tornado Alley, and I think they are beautiful when they are out in the countryside. Yeah, when they're not in town. I completely understand. Like they are just kind of amazing that wind can do that. I totally understand. I'm not in Tornado Alley at all, and I haven't been. Thankfully, I've not been in a situation like that. But I haven't watched Twister yet. I do need to watch it. Um, so yeah, my mom was really kind of can't watch a lot of stuff, and then we also had the thing of like didn't really have a lot of money growing up, so we didn't get to go to theaters too often, and we had PBS. And then my mom got a new job when I was in like middle school, and that changed so that we could get TV and stuff. But a lot of the movies that everybody was watching, I either couldn't go see or my mom wouldn't let me see. But I would pick up from people phrases that they were saying and just adopt them as my own and say them. And so when I started dating Josh, I'd say these things and then he'd start talking about the movie and I'd have no idea what he's talking about. So I am surprised that I haven't picked that one up. I was just like, I know that's a reference. So the lily flower on your shoulder sounds really cool too. Yeah. Yeah, he made me so he when we first started dating, he made me sit down and watch The Predator and Alien and a lot of some of the other Schwarzenegger movies. But he's like when I'd say like get to the chopper. I hadn't seen the movie. Um I just thought it was a funny way of saying it. It was like I know I've seen the scene, like I've seen clips of it. Um but yeah. I say there was that one. Um some of the Austin Power like things. I think I've watched them all now. Um, so there was a whole huge list of movies that Josh told me that I had to watch. I think it makes more of an interesting story if I know what people said in the movie and I don't know what the movie's about. Oh, lilies are your favorite flower? Nice. Yeah, I really like there's some really cute, really pretty and beautiful like flower tattoos. So I was like, "Ooh, that'd be really nice." You have a huge list that Eli wants you to watch. You don't see a ton either. Yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff out there, and I like rewatching stuff. Like I've seen Princess Bride like literally probably over 100 times already in my lifetime. Like I have no doubt that I've seen it at least 100 times. Um, it's one of my favorite movies. So much so that when Josh and I got married, our friend married us, and my one requirement when we got married is that I don't care what you say. All I want you to do is do the marriage bit. You can say anything else you want, and it's Josh's best friend, so we're just like, no, I'm not a picky bride. I just want you to do the marriage. So he did the bit, and it was amazing, and I loved it. And thankfully, all of my family also loves the movie, and they also quote it, and they know it, and they thought it was good. But Josh's family had no idea because they didn't watch the movie. And Josh knew of it; he's seen it, but he's like, "Okay, I'm fine with that." Um, so yeah, it wasn't even themed. We got married in December. It was like a couple days before New Year's, and sorry, I got distracted by the music. Uh, and it was perfect. His friend got ordained through the free ordination thing so that he could officially marry us. Um, and I was like, you can say whatever you want. This is my only stipulation. He got cold feet at the last minute, and so he only did the bit from uh, Princess Bride. And you know that it's not a long bit. It's just like mileage is what brings us together today. Love, true love, together forever. And then he had us do the vows. And I was just like, if we could repeat the vows, that would be good. But, you don't have to. And then he was going to say some things about us. He got cold feet, and so that's all he did. So our wedding was so short. Like, I doubt our wedding ceremony lasted longer than a minute. It was the fastest wedding ever. it was it was so good. Like, you could fit the entire video on a floppy disk, I have no doubt. um so that was the only thing. I was just like, I wish it was a little bit longer, but it's okay. I had fun. It was a good time. We got married in it was kind of like a banquet hall where people could rent out the venue and have like corporate events. And so since we did our wedding after Christmas, it was all decorated up with Christmas colors, and there was a Christmas tree behind us that was like I think it was red and silver, which is good because all of our um, tables were red and silver. So people were sitting at the reception tables. We just walked in between the tables, got married, and then sat down and had dinner. So very unassuming, very low maintenance. I think we had probably about 15, 20 people. So it's just like, I do not want a big to do. I don't care. He loved that it worked, and it sounded like it worked. Yeah, it turned out really good. Like, I got to see my family. Since it was December, there was a bad storm, so half of them didn't come. So we had planned for 40 people, and only 20 showed up. I mean, it was I'm not it was fine. I'm not too upset about it. It's just like, it is what it is. We're officially married, so my mom's happy about that. Probably wouldn't have gotten married otherwise. But yeah. We were actually going to plan on doing kind of like a small ceremony, like a courthouse ceremony with just the parents and Josh and me. But things didn't work out, and my dad passed before we could do that. So it was kind of like, well, we said we were going to get married. We've got 3 or 4 months to do that. It's a little bit of a sad story, but you can't help it. So my dad passed on the day that we were planning to get married. Yeah, sorry, bummer. Okay. But yeah, so I did enjoy my wedding, even though it's different than I planned. It sucked that my dad wasn't there though, but he gave us his blessing. So, okay, enough about my dad. Let's see here. So we've got the red trim, which is looking good. And I need to do some highlights on the doors. So let's do some highlights. So let's see. So, Princess Bride. That's where that came from. Princess Bride. Uh, so yeah, if I do get a tattoo that's like other than my favorite movies, definitely probably do something Princess Bride. Ooh, what would be a good Princess Bride tattoo? Questions. I could see like a really like a cutesy uh ROUS rats of unusual size. I can see like a chibi rats, like one of that with like a fire swamp. That would be cool. There are so many. There's so many quotes. I mean, we could go with the cliched ones that everybody knows. Like, my name is Inigo Montoya. Killed. That's sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You killed my father. Arnold Schwarzenegger is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. That'd be an interesting. Anyways, let's see. Maybe if you wanted text on that, you're just like, I don't believe in them. And maybe make it like a sad rats of unusual size. They kind of make him just like, they don't believe in me. I can see kind of that. Like maybe like one of those intentionally poorly drawn styles. Just like, oh, this is like a stick figure type of thing. It's like, we could do that. Have fun storming the castle. I love Billy Crystal. That's always one of my favorite ones too. My brain pictures Buttercup with the mask that Wesley wears kind of around it. Oh, like a buttercup, like a flower. Oh, I like that. That's kind of like, it's not as out there. Like you can't, if unless you know about it. Oh, I like that though. Like if you know, you know. And that like you could incorporate it with a lot of different tattoos that way too. I like that. Hmm. I used to do like tattoo, like I used to do tattoo designs just for myself, like in sketchbooks. Ah, man, this is getting my creative juices going. All right, so let's do the cross beams here. We're gonna pull out that silver again. Where did I put it? There it is. I used to love this song. This song used to be like my jam. Like when I was like 16, 17, I developed a really big crush on one of my friends, and he was dating someone else, and I hated it. And I was like, I'm right here. You know, why am I not good enough? So glad that I didn't date him. So glad. So bad. But I was like, I would play this song on repeat. Well, so many memories. 90s music. All right, and then the door handle gets a little bit of silver too. Very nice. Yeah. Do like that idea with the buttercup. Adding it to the list. All right. So I think it's going so well. Everything's going according to plan. That's a quote from something. What is that from? Everything's going according to plan. Nope, that one's gonna have to be a Josh question. That one I know I've seen. I know I've heard it somewhere. We're gonna have to Google this. We're Googling it. Everything's going according to plan. Oh, there's a song. Oh, Lord, that is gonna get me. Where is that from? Where's it from? Fall Out Boy song? What song is it from? The Takeover, the Briggs? Ah, for some reason, I've got Futurama stuck in my head. Man, this is hurting my brain. Panic at the Disco. Okay. There's a good reason these tables aren't numbered, honey. Is what I'm coming up with Panic at the Disco. Let's try it. This is a good song. But let's take a look at sidebar. Panic at the Disco. Alright, we're gonna try this. It's an interesting song. So it is in there, but it's not the inflection that I'm remembering in my head. This is gonna be a brain. I'm gonna hear those lyrics when I said it. For some reason, I think of like a character, kind of like the professor in Futurama, just shouting, "Everything's going according to plan." Oh, Moulin Rouge. It's it's Moulin Rouge. It's totally Moulin Rouge. It's the big guy with the mustache, the owner. It's totally Moulin Rouge. Oh God. It's gotta be. Let me open this up real quick. And that's why it's a song. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find that clip. I'm gonna have to watch the entire movie just to get to that part, and I'm gonna be like, yes, it's finally there. Hmm. Okay, so yeah. I'm gonna stop my dive into it. Okay, we're good. Moving on. We're gonna go back to painting. And I think I might go back to the previous. We're gonna not listen to. Stop listening to Panic at the Disco. I do like them, but I'm not feeling them. You're feeling it at the moment. Let's see where we were. It's all been done. There we go. We're gonna go back to where we were. Man, that was a sidebar. Sorry about that. Oh, my hair is still crunchy. I haven't crunched out the gel out of it yet. But it's extra curly today. I took a shower. Yay, me taking a shower. All right, so we've got this. Now we're going to do the green. We're on the green. Do the dark green. Yeah, it's better paint music. I do like Panic at the Disco, and it brings me back to my younger days. But this is good jams. The funniest story that I had about this band, Bare Naked Ladies, is um way back when, in my formative years, I feel so old. I used to go to church, my family's church, and it was a small church, but we had a library, and I was the volunteer librarian because I needed something to do. They needed someone to do stuff. So I checked in stuff, checked out, but we had a little video library and we had Veggie Tales to check out. People loved it. The parents got so upset. It's one of the Veggie Tale videos had music by Bare Naked Ladies, and it was advertised on the front of the VHS tape, whatever the song was, by Bare Naked Ladies, and it was bold, and it was in yellow font. It's very obvious for children to check out and say, Bare Naked Ladies. It's so funny. So many butthurt family members say, what type of trash is VeggieTales? This was before VeggieTales got really big, too. I always thought that was fun. Alright, so we're gonna do some shadows. Shadow. Yeah, it was an interesting, like, it was my first type of real job, being the librarian, checking in and out stuff. So people just assumed that I knew stuff, and I was like, I don't know what this is. And it was right around when DVDs started coming out. We had DVDs there, and I was checking stuff in for people. They were like, I couldn't figure out how to rewind it. Sorry, you're gonna have to rewind it. And I was like, you don't rewind DVDs. And it blew people's minds because this rural Southern Ohio. Surprised they had a DVD player. We also had DVD players to rent, so probably rented that too, but that wasn't me. So yeah, it was interesting. It got me something on my CV whenever I started applying for scholarships and stuff. It was something for me to do. And I always liked it because one of my favorite things to do is that probably every 6 months or so, we uh, we would order new stuff. And one time, the minister let me pick what we got. So like books, VHS stuff, um, DVDs, and music. We had a CD selection. So I got to choose stuff. So I actually developed the whole, like the only um stuff that I would order was heavy metal Christian rock. So I got so tired of like the instrumental uh stuff, and I got in trouble because they're like, this isn't the music that we should be listening to. And I was like, they're Christian. We can listen to it. So I I got I was very pleased. It wasn't just stuff like that. Um, country gospel. I expanded people's minds as a 16-year-old. Yeah. But I did get in trouble once. I was like, I got Death Hunter. Death Hunter is very, very heavy metal. And I really wanted, they were having a concert in Columbus, and I was 2 hours away. And I tried to convince my parents to go. I was like, it's on the weekend of my birthday. This would be the best birthday gift ever. Loved Death Hunter growing up, or at least in my teenage years, because it was just different than what I was allowed to listen. But I'm sorry, no, they're parading. Anyways, uh, I wish did we have a Blockbuster? We had a family video. We had a family video, and we would get movies ever so often. Yeah. This is really going to start to pop whenever I get that highlight back on, but it's kind of looking stripy at the moment, which is okay. I just want to make sure that it looks like there's some shading underneath the shingles. Shingle shading. I'm trying to hold it a little bit closer so that the color shows up better. I'm ready for you to go now too. Please switch to the next song. Thank you, baby. Go. Too repetitive. I'm not feeling this song. I'm skipping it. Sorry, dyslexic heart. We skipping? Get some Fountains of Wayne? Potty on? Okay. So I'm thinking, so once I finish painting the roof, I think I'll call it for today. Probably still have about 10-15 minutes to go. I'm not going to paint the landscape because it's still wet. I should have painted it last night to prep it. It's just not ready to paint. It'll just bubble up and look terrible. So I'll paint that off stream and I can post the final pictures whenever I get it done. Because I always typically do the static grass. Or I have been doing the static grass off stream just because it's kind of boring. There's not much to do besides me shaking the static grass on, like, okay, now it has to dry for 3 hours before I do another application. So, we'll do that, and then I'm gonna try to do like short videos of it when I finish it and like post it on my Instagram as shorts or videos or reels or whatever they're calling them. So that's there, but I might decide not to. I'm gonna go to Michael's today, get a whole bunch of stuff I'm excited about, getting new paint. Kind of want to get it's mostly paint that I'm going for. It's paint. What's that? I want grass green. So I'll do the resin pour too off stream. Make this a little bit light green. Alright, and we're gonna try dry brushing again. I'm gonna actually get a dry brush. So hold on a second. Roll back here. Got a nice dry brush. And we're gonna dry brush like we should have. Tap it on. This is not big enough for dry brush. I'm gonna just say that right now. I need a bigger brush. We're gonna get a nice big fuzzy brush. Big old fuzzy brush. This is so soft. It's not been touched by paint yet. Alright. Kisses. Ain't kisses. Oh, so all these songs, some of these songs, I'm just like, oh, I wish this was the Weird Al song. I'm so excited for the Weird Al adaptation with Daniel Radcliffe. I, I'm pretty, I'm a big fan of Weird Al. Um, it's just my type of humor, and I love UHF. That's a good movie that I like. Um, doesn't stand up to time a little bit. There's a little bit of dated references and stuff, but it's still good. I like it. UHF is fun. Like, you get to drink from the fire hose. Oh Lord. Um, so the Weird Al movie, I don't know how to feel about it. I'm excited for it. I'm gonna watch it. I'll probably enjoy it, but I just think it's so off the wall. Okay, I think we're doing good. Let's see here. I got spam texting going on. I don't know what I signed up for, but someone sold my cell phone number. And it's been a pain in the ass the past month or so. Hello? Hello, music? Hello? I heard that one. I don't. What happened to the music there? To kind of the bed. There we go. It's no more offspring. I had my the playlist on repeat or on shuffle, so when I went to a different to the Panic at the Disco song and then came back, it shuffled differently, so we might have different songs. Okay. We've got a nice shingling. Shingles in your area. Alright, so I still have to paint that or do that down. I think I need to do the chimney. Let's see here. Sun. This is looking so good. I'm gonna toot my own horn. Toot toot. Toot toot. Alright. This is gonna look so good. I'm really so pleased with how today went. I'm gonna do a little bit more highlights here just because I wanna. All right. So I think that's it. I think this is where we're going to stop today. Um, I'm going to go to the shops, get what I need done, and then might be streaming video games later this holiday weekend. But thank you for joining me. I hope you feel better. I hope everything goes well. Thank you. I appreciate you joining me when you don't feel well and chatting with me. It's been really nice. Um, I'll be live again probably next week and gonna start thinking about Hobbit homes and where I want to put it. If we didn't rent the place and we owned it, I would totally bust a hole in the wall. We'd have a secret Hobbit hole in the wall. It's not going to happen because we rent. But yes, I see you later. Thank you. See you soon and hope you feel better, both of you. All right. Good night.